Hello. I hope you are doing good. You're having a good day, and maybe this video will make it better or not. I wanted to talk about a very unpopular emotion that many people have a lot of shame about. Can you guess what it is? It's an emotion that comes up in relationships. It's very possessive and it's very scared. I'm talking about jealousy. What is jealousy? What is it wanting to tell us, and how can we go beneath jealousy and understand what it is actually that needs to be healed underneath the layer of protective jealousy? So jealousy is coming up often in relationships, even if you have open relationships or polyamorous relationships, you still have to work with jealousy, no matter in what kind of relationship you are in. And it often can also, of course, come up in workplaces or in life in general. I mean, not in romantic relationships, but it often causes most suffering in the intimate relationships. So what is it exactly? So when you experience jealousy, it's often that you are wanting to be the only one. You are wanting to be the chosen one. And whatever threat that comes up that compete with that is making you scared and is producing the feeling of jealousy. Like you are becoming controlling, or you are becoming very negative towards that threat. And the threat can be, then if you're in a relationship, the threat can be another person. It can be a hobby that your partner is engaging in, or a work that your partner is engaging in. It can also be with your colleague, that your colleague gets something that you don't get. But often it's about that you are not, that the fear you have of not being prioritized, not being chosen, and that you see threats everywhere. You are ready for being under prioritized. You are ready for being abandoned. You are ready for not being chosen. And why is it so important for you to be chosen? Well, maybe because you associate being loved, being accepted, with being the only one. You somehow learned that in order for you to feel worthy or feel valued or feel loved, you really need to have that experience of being the only one. It's like you are clinging on to that possessive feeling of, I am the only one for my attachment figure. And of course, if you have siblings, this is easily triggered, because if you have siblings, you are not the only one. You have competition of love and of being seen, of attention. And if you then have an attachment figure who maybe mistakenly have a favorite, or identify more with a sibling, then of course you're gonna develop jealousy. It's just what's gonna happen. Or if you feel like you have to fight to be seen, you have to fight to get attention, or actually if you got all the attention, and then you also got the association that, yeah, I always get all the attention. I always, if I don't get attention, then I don't exist. You learned that if I don't get what I want, then I don't exist. So when you grow up then, and you are living life, and you're in a relationship, and there are other people more than you than in the relationship, then you're gonna feel scared. Like, okay, this is not what I'm used to. Does this mean that I'm not loved? Or for the person who got rivalry in the sibling relationships, that's also going to stay if you have had the experience in your early attachment relationships that you were not prioritized, or you were not chosen, or maybe you felt that you were chosen just if you really worked for it, if you really tried to get your parents' attention, then you were chosen. And if you didn't get experience, like if I just am in myself, if I just exist, then my parents, they don't pay attention to me. Then you're gonna associate love with needing to work to get your place, to get your position. If you don't have control, then you're not getting love. You're not getting prioritized. You're not getting chosen. So it's really obviously a defensive mechanism, jealousy, that is about control. Trying to control your environment, trying to control another person. And what you need to do is then to let go of control, like the contrary is to let go of control, which is very, life-threatening to you, to let go of control. It's because it signals to your body, like, if you don't have control over everything that happens around you, then you're basically going to be forgotten and die. And you need to control by always making things that make you feel chosen, or make that you have to work, you have to fight to be chosen. You have to fight for existence, which is about having control. And your body thinks that if you don't fight no more, then you're just going to die, and everybody's going to abandon you, and you're going to be forgotten. And you don't exist. So jealousy is a protection. It's a system of protection. So I want you to understand that it's nothing to be ashamed about. It's a messenger to you of your wounds. Jealousy is a clue to you about where you need to be healed. It's a defensive mechanism of control. It's trying to help you keep your position of being the only one by seeing other people or other things that comes in the way of you being the only one as threats. And it all relies upon a narrative that love is conditioned for you being chosen or for you being prioritized, and if you are not chosen, then you don't exist, which is a false narrative. It's not about you being chosen, because you already are. It's not about something external choosing you. You are already chosen to live this life. The day you were born, you were chosen to live this life. So you were already chosen, and you were already loved from the start. You don't have to chase. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to control your right to stay here, to be here. So that's the reprogramming that needs to happen. That story in your head that you need to force being chosen. You already are. It's like your body really needs to understand that there is no competition around you. You are here for some reason, and you are loved and chosen. It's not up to someone else to decide if you are important, or if you have the right to be loved. We can understand that thought develops when you're born and when you're a child, when you're really dependent on your caretakers, and you're dependent on them loving you and on them then choosing you. So of course we're going to develop that idea that I need someone else to choose me in order to feel loved and worthy and worthy of existence. But it's actually not true. It's not up to our caretakers. You were already chosen and loved when you were born. And that is what you need to remember when you're an adult and you have this problem with jealousy. You have to let go of the idea that it's up to someone else if you are worthy. So you have to let go of the control of someone else by understanding that it's not about them. It's about you. And again, going inside and understanding that, well, it's not even about choosing yourself, because you already are chosen. It's just that you need to remember it. You need to remember yourself, that you are here and you don't need to do anything. You exist no matter, if you choose yourself or not. But it's good to remember yourself, that to come back to yourself. When you were born, you were with yourself, but then things happened in your life and you learned to abandon yourself and to look for threats of competition outside of yourself. So the task now, if you have the jealousy problem when you're an adult, is to really return to yourself and to do the inner work, to return to yourself and ask yourself, why am I jealous? Well, I'm scared I will not be chosen. I'm scared I will be abandoned. I'm scared that they will choose someone else over me. And then to break that illusion that it's not about that, you are already chosen because you are in you. You are home. So you really have to brainwash you in that reversed way to really understand that you are safe, you are home. You don't need to control your environment or other people. You don't need to force love. You don't need to force yourself into being worthy in a relationship or have a position in a relationship. That's just a defensive, protective mechanism developed because you didn't understand you were already chosen and loved as a child. If not by your parents, by something bigger than you. Again, the reason why you were born is because you were chosen to be born. So this type of jealousy is more of the active, I would say active type of jealousy, where you have this wound in you of not being chosen, and then you're trying to actively control your environment. So maybe you're very demanding in a relationship, or you're very possessive in a relationship, or you're very, it shows that you are jealous, and you're always maybe trying to be the first one, and you're maybe dressing or acting in a way so that you will be chosen. So it's really manifesting in you in a very active way. But there are other ways, there are other stories where jealousy can take form that are more passive. And if you're interested in finding out or getting to know more about the passive way of jealousy, if you would like to comment in this video or in the comment section here, just comment jealousy, then I will make a video of a more passive form of jealousy, which is more about the narrative. I don't deserve love. I have nothing to offer. It's nothing special about me. I don't belong here, etc. And where it doesn't come out as actively controlling. It comes out in more detaching and distancing, but it's still jealousy. And actually detaching is one way of controlling your relationship, but it comes out more in an avoidance than this actively. So yeah, please comment jealousy if you want. If you want me to make another video, but with more passive way of jealousy. So coming back to the active way of being jealous. So please don't shame yourself for it, because it's already so much shame in jealousy, because it reveals that you want something, that you have a desire, and it's sort of in an ugly way. But don't shame yourself. Really honestly see it as information. Just as I talked about anxiety as information, see jealousy as information about your past. Like somehow, sometime probably in your life, you probably did have an experience of learning how love wasn't unconditional. And maybe you were compared a lot with something else or someone else. We are, just be aware of how we are so vulnerable and open when we are kids. So we interpret everything that happens to us. And if we are constantly being compared or not prioritized, it's going to have consequences for us. And then a result of that might be like this inner fear or inner deficit, inner feeling of not being worthy or not being chosen. And whenever that wound gets triggered, like if we have a workplace or if we have a relationship and the wound get triggered by someone else is coming in rivalry, coming and competing and pushing that wound, we're going to protect ourselves. And the protection might take the form of jealousy. And the jealousy can express itself in different ways, like actively controlling or more passively going inward, withdrawing. So I want you to understand yourself better instead of shaming yourself. So honestly, understanding yourself is always like a medicine toward shame. Shame is just like a layer that just numbing everything, or it's just poisoning everything that needs to be understood. So the more you understand about yourself, the more compassion comes instead of shame. So it's understandable with jealousy. It's just a defensive, protective mechanism. It's here to protect you. It's here to help you not lose your place in life. It thinks you need to deserve a place, a position in life. That's the narrative, which is false again. But jealousy thinks that. So it is protecting you from it by creating this emotion of jealousy and making you act upon it, or making you somehow react to it. But I'm here to tell you it's false. You don't need to do anything to deserve this place. You already deserved it by being born. And you were already chosen by being born, and you are loved from the start. You are love when you are born. You don't need to do anything. So look at it as the messenger, as a clue about your history, and go back and understand where it comes from, and then start to go inward to heal what it's actually about, what is hiding beneath the protective layer of jealousy. And when you do, you might actually, open up for the opportunity to transform, a lot of areas in your life. Because in a way, jealousy is such a fundamental feeling. It hides, so it contains so much, because it controls your life in a way, and it's so deep because it's about your birthright, it's about your existence, it's about the thought again that you need to do something to prove something, to prove your worth. You need to control. So actually, maybe it starts with jealousy, but then it can go further than that. So it can go down deep. So of surrendering to the flow of life, or of letting go of control of everything that happens in life, and instead bringing in, then when you let go of control, what will happen is that you will get acquainted to trust and to faith in yourself and in what life has in store for you. Now, I'm not talking about destiny, but just trust that everything happens for a reason. Everything that has happened in your life has happened for a reason, and it will continue to do so. And if you open up your eyes, then we start to see that, so that you can change and transform, so that you can learn from life and then repair what needs to be repaired. So again, working with jealousy, I think, can be like a portal to really work with the theme of control, of controlling everything in your life. And control is very common that you have developed if you grew up feeling threatened, or grew up in fear or chaos. Then you learned that you need to control everything. And so when you start to let go of that, you will feel a lot of emotions. You will feel scared. You will feel a lot of anxiety. It will be horrible. But if you understand the process and do it intentionally, then you will come out on the other side with more freedom in yourself and more open to love, for sure. That's the goal in a way. That's the vision. So, yeah, I will potentially do another video on letting go of control in life, and so that you can not only, live okay, but also live, have more fun, and so you can let the love in, and let creativity and freedom and joy in. So if you're interested in that, maybe if you want to drop a comment, if you want me to make a video about how to let go and control in your life so that you can do some more transformation, please comment. I think that's an interesting topic. And working with your jealousy might be a way in, actually, to letting go in a broader sense of control. So I will probably do a small exercise in a next video on how to work with your jealousy, how to start to talk with it. Because I really feel for you who have problems with jealousy. It's a very difficult emotion to handle, and it's important to have compassion for and understand what's underneath so we can help you let go of it. So I hope this inspired and helped you. And please watch the exercise that's coming after this. And be free. Have a nice day.